Hello, everybody. Jason here. Writer, artist, colorist, letterer, publisher of Star Wars The Dark Hunter. The first upload for this was back in 2019, August, I believe. And I had 3 episodes already to go. So I uploaded them, every, I don't know what the actual date was. You can go check on the website. But I had 3 right off the bat just to upload and get the ball rolling. I was able to do, just with my art style back then, my level of experience, detail, etc. I was able to upload approximately 1 episode every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks, like a 6-page episode, it can go up there, and it was fine. Then the lockdowns of 2020 happened. I didn't get to stop working since I technically was an essential worker, but I was able to still maintain that pace because a lot of other stuff in the world, fell off. So got involved with a lot of online folks with comic creation, etc. But that kind of dried up after the lockdowns, where people kind of went back to their normal lives. Just maintained slight contact with different folks, but not too much. I've been kind of working on this on myself since then. And I was still maintaining a pretty decent pace. I'd get some good interaction on Webtoon, good interaction on the servers that I'm on, the Discord and stuff. But the last thing that kind of got in the way was my job switch up. Now, when I was doing the Rogue Ship Annual, you can go check that out on Webtoon if you like. That was all digital. So I had my new iPad, and I just would go to work. I was working a 24-hour shift, and on my downtime, I would just be drawing and coloring. I could just draw whatever color. It's digital. I could trace what I needed to trace. I could find 3D models of ships. I could do whatever. Okay? And it was fine. So I got that done, and I decided for Chapter 3 that I wanted to go on and just do traditional media again. I want to get back to the roots of just pen and paper, pencils, and learn different tricks of the trade. So I went back to doing traditional media for Chapter 3. I got a different job though in 2021, the end of it, like November 21, where it was an office job and it was 8 to 5. It was very involved though. I was on salary, so I had to answer my phone all the time. It's a 24/7 operation where I work, so you're just never really off duty. You're just kind of always answering questions, helping people out, stopping everything, going on the computer, entering people into a database and doing different things. So anyways, the production pace slowed down quite a bit here for this comic. And I think instead of doing 1 episode every 3 weeks, like a 6-page episode, drawn, colored, lettered, all that stuff, every 3 weeks, it turned into every couple months. And then at one point, I think I did 3 episodes in a year, and that was it. 3 episodes in a year. And needless to say, as the last year or so, the interaction online has been really low. People will read it, but I don't get any comments on Webtoon. I think it's just c'est la vie, almost like old news on Webtoon at least. And I know like a lot of people will tell you this, but Star Wars isn't in a really good place right now either. So people just, the fact it has Star Wars on it, they're not automatically just going to check it out, when I first started this, The Mandalorian was good. It had just come out and people were, walking around. And I did have some Mandalorians, a couple of segments in this, but like the old Republic era, obviously. But so people they like that, tune into that. No big deal. I don't know if I've lost some momentum or the franchise has lost its momentum, but I, as an artist, has gained momentum. So I'm encouraged. I got a bunch of art supplies. I got Deep in the Woods. Recently, I've gotten into perspective drawing and different things, and so that's been cool. Learning a lot of things and improving as an artist. So what's going on now, though, I'm running out of fuel and time. I don't have that other job, so I went back into the field. I feel like I have more time to do stuff, to produce and different things. I have more time on my own. being on night shifts, I get days off like this to just work on one thing every day. But I also became the pastor of a church in 2023. So now there's like, study prep and handling church business and different things constantly. So I dropped off one burden and quickly gained another. But it's not as intrusive, as that salary job where you just can't turn it off, So I'm able to get down and dirty. I'm taking my time on the art now. I'm taking my time, trying to work on just the quality of it, maybe not finish it so quickly. Patience, that kind of stuff. It's a virtue. So that's what I'm kind of up to right now. This video is one page. It's the first page of chapter 4, basically. First thing that's going to happen with chapter 4 is Biz is going to be giving a message. I don't know if you know this, but if you read all the way back to the very beginning, this is being told. You read the introduction, the guy pushes a button and he starts talking and tells you the tale, the introductory tale of where Taris came from and the Order of the Dark Hunters. Tells him all those things. Well, then the intro for chapter 2 is the same way. There's a narrator that tells you, how Taris escapes the temple and different things, and he goes on and on about the next phase of the story. With the rogue ship, I just kind of wrote into that. The annual, it was like a own little self-sufficient story. And if you knew the people that were in the comic, you kind of thought that was cool to see them throwback style. It was kind of a prequel. For chapter 3, starting, I didn't do a narration. I started off with a flashback page reminding everybody of the initial prophecy that Naya spilled out to Master Aelin. And it was basically the whole plot. Just to remind everybody what we're at. It had been a while, so I figured to do that. But there's no thing. So we're bringing the narrator back here and going to reveal a few things. It's not just any narrator. It's Biz Cody. You can see pretty plainly here in the picture that doesn't have a smuggler uniform on. He's got more of what I'm calling a Republic envoy uniform on. And he's starting the narration off. This is so you know that in the past it's been him that's been talking and over narrating. And he'll have more narration points as we go through the process here towards the end. Secondly, this thing's been taking forever. I uploaded it in 2019 August, so that was when I had a lot of time on my hands and stuff. And if you get to the point where we're doing like 3 episodes a year, it's just lagging. And I lost all interaction, I think. The algorithm on Webtoon don't like me. So I just need to finish the story. What I have here is the main story that was from the stage drama we did back in 2018 and 2019. There's the main story, but as I started doing this, I just added more characters, added more backstory, fleshed things out. Next thing you know, I got this whole other segment of the story, new characters. That would be Doc, Dern Belbrook, Kayella, Render, and now in chapter 3, a whole new crew with them too. I got, I guess it's Lon and Mech are here on the bottom right-hand panel, and then this lady who's like kind of a Cathar, but she doesn't have the cat face. She's got a human female face. She's got cat claws, cat hindquarters, but like a more human face with some teeth that probably scare you. Her name keeps changing because I hasn't thought of a real good name for her. I'm gonna decide on something for this episode comes out though. There's her, and then there's the other, the Mon Calamari guy, Ebak Dima, and then their crew. They're the crew of the Stormfront spaceship, the Stormfront. Okay, they're the crew of the Stormfront, and they had a real critical role. I wanted to do a whole backstory with these guys and show how they help everybody escape. They get off the planet. They rescue everybody that needs to be rescued because the Stormfront is kind of like a search and rescue ship, as opposed to a smuggler ship like the Destiny's Way is. And they get off. They have a medical frigate that goes with them, and they're kind of like this small little Republic fleet after a while. They're mercenary level, not really totally sponsored by the Republic, but anyways, there's this whole set of crew. But it's just taking forever. What I'm going to do is this episode is just going to explain how going forward, how we're going to concentrate on Terrace and the other characters that have been with us since the beginning. I did have a friend of mine. I was working with him on a 12-hour shift, and he was telling me he's falling every time I put an upload. And he says he's like a comic enthusiast, critic kind of a guy. But he said, I think you're getting away from the main story. Like you're telling the story of these guys here, but I want to see what happens to Terrace. And I realized I hadn't done anything since the flashback scene in chapter 2, or the first couple pages of chapter 3. I was kind of concentrating on this other crew, so that kind of stuck with me. I had to finish some plot points, but now I want to get back to the meat of the story, which is the hero's journey that Terrace goes through. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to finish Terrace's the main story, and then just like I did with the rogue ship, I'm going to do an annual, like 25-page, 22-page side story of everything that goes on behind the scenes of the main one. I'm going to call that the Stormfront. I'll probably upload that to the same channel. Then on Webtoons, I'm going to put up the stage drama version, shortened up, just the scenes that were in the stage drama, and I might just put the different episodes up like that. Try and just milk this thing, as much as possible. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do. But I have, as you know, at the end of the last episode, Terrace heads off into the unmanned hangar bay, looking to divert any Sith that are going to follow the crew. They put out the invitation, hey, you got 5 minutes. If you change your mind, you can leave the planet with us. But Terrace is now committed, and with the conviction that this is what he has to do. His new life means sacrifice, and so he's going to give that away, defending a new set of friends. He barely knows most of them, but he really cares for Miga, cares for Biz, and he wants them to get off planet unharmed. He feels guilty because everywhere he's gone, he's caused people to be injured, killed, covers blown, etc. He led the Empire here, and now this whole operation has to get shut down. He just wants to. He'd rather just stay behind and earn his keep, and say that he did something productive with his life instead of just being a Sith and messing up. So that's I want to concentrate on that story. It's got a good ending, the hook. It's going to mainly focus on Jackal Squadron, the crew aboard the Abomination Star Destroyer, and the crew down here on the Destiny's Way with Terrace, Miga, Sela, the Tyrannotech security guys, and up on the Abomination, the little conspiracy that I established back there in chapter 1 and 2. Those people are going to come full circle too, and it's going to be a good ride. So I think I have artwork's not this big deal anymore. I can just jump in and do it. I don't have to psych myself up and take a bunch of caffeine to do it. I can just sit down and draw now. I've been scripting. I sit down scripting things, saying, hey, I'm going to write out what they're supposed to say instead of winging it on the lettering day. It seems to be going a lot better that way. So I'll grab go on Google Docs and just start typing. This page is going to have this on there. This is what they're going to say. And so as I'm drawing, I'm looking at the notes, at the script, and just keeping in mind what I have to have these people say. I have to leave room for word balloons and the flow of the page. I think you'll notice the last episode and a half, or at 2 episodes, have been the dialogue's a little more refined, and the word balloons flow a little better. They're not as weird and chaotic or whatever, improvised looking. So I'm trying to just be a little more pro on how I approach the actual wording and lettering. I'm going back and reading some of this, and I just need to shut up. All writing too much dialogue. Everybody sounds like me, like stuff that I would say. Weird technical jargon and like cowboy kind of industry speak, kind of like I would do at work, like talking EMS with someone else, and everyone who's not in the industry is sitting around going, "What are you talking about?" So that's kind of a thing that I got to work on. So I'm going to try and be a better storyteller that way. So going ahead, that's what I'm working on with this next episode. I want to try and do maybe a video a week too. If I can get a YouTube crowd and have them reference this, that'd be good. Go back and forth. Maybe that way when I finish it, it doesn't just pitter out in glorious mediocrity. You know, I have people that either want to see the story continue or are glad that we finished it. It'll be a complete piece of work, and I'm excited about that part. So I might go take parts of this, the edited version, like the director's cut or whatever, and have them timed uploads, like once every week an episode goes up on a different, this is the Dark Hunter, director's cut, and a lot of the fat's trimmed and the dialogue is dialed in. Because as I'm reading it myself, I'm like, dude, like, who are you, Brian Bendis or something? All this dialogue across these pages, when half of it's being shown, and I'm just trying to give you guys, the readers, a little bit of credibility for having a brain. You can figure stuff out without me having to say it in a balloon, right? So the latest episode should be up in a week or two here. It is now May the 5th. The Revenge of the Fifth Day. That's why I'm doing this. Let you know. Hopefully someone still has Star Wars on the brain, because I don't know who it is right now. This is almost over. Taking it to the end. If you've been around this long, appreciate your support and your interest. And great. This is Jason signing off. Good talking to you again. I'll talk to you again soon. By the way, I was trying Twitch streams, but that's like you have to be like full on every day or something. I'm gonna try go back to YouTube and just try it there. See what I can get along with on YouTube. If I ever do a live stream again, I'm gonna try one there and just see if people would just click. I'm sure the people that have been involved in this comic since the beginning there, they get a YouTube notification before they'll get a Twitch one. So that's what I'm gonna do going ahead. So thanks for listening, watching. It's a little sped up process video. This is page 1 of chapter 4. Pretty intense. A lot of stuff went into this one. I took a little time on the art. It's a little more detailed than I'd like to be going forward, but some people out there like detail, so hope you're one of them. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.